My father was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer almost 7 years ago. He's 69 now and, despite multiple surgeries and rounds of chemotherapy, he's still here and living a full, productive life. My wife and I suggested hosting a Thanksgiving-style celebration with extended family to honor his journey and give thanks. Once my siblings got involved, things went sideways. I'm the eldest of 4, age 39. Then there are my brothers, ages 36 and 33, and our sister age 30. My second-born brother, Ray, and I have had a lifelong rivalry. We've never gotten along. Not as children, not now. He was always our father's favorite, while I was made to feel like the proverbial stepchild. I could never understand it. While we all got the best education money could buy, our home life was chaotic and abusive. I left home after high school to get away from the dysfunction and abuse. My siblings all stayed, endured what I couldn't, and got their degrees in university. I remained the uneducated black sheep of the family. Anyway, when I left, Ray stepped into the role of man of the house during our parents' brief separation. He's held an unspoken authority over the family dynamic ever since. I've never wished him harm, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's prayed for me to be hit by a bus. No one in my family ever calls him out. It's like everyone tiptoes around him. Back to the celebration. Once we got buy-in from the siblings, Ray bulldozed the planning. He insisted on dates that would make it impossible for my kids to attend because of school. My wife and I live across the country, while everyone else is local, so we needed coordination. Ray refused to consider alternative dates, saying he didn't want to risk our father having a health setback. This man was diagnosed 7 years ago and is doing well. That's the whole reason we're celebrating. When my concerns were brushed aside by everyone else, who either ignored me or seemed too afraid to challenge Ray, I left the WhatsApp group I had created to help plan the function. I told them I'd step aside but was available to assist if needed. No one contacted me, except to collect money. I pledged $10,000 the same as Ray, and my other 2 siblings each volunteered $5,000. The day came. Since my wife and I weren't involved in planning, we arrived as guests. The event was disorganized and cheap-looking, nowhere near what $30,000 could or should have produced. Based on the food, decor, and setup being hosted at my parents' house, it honestly looked like the only money that was actually spent came from the $10,000 I sent. The rest? Who knows? There were half-hearted decorations, lackluster catering, barely enough food for the people there, and a visible absence of my children. People noticed. A month later, my mother phoned me, upset that I'd left the group and refused to cooperate, again, placing blame squarely on me. I tried explaining, but she wouldn't hear it. It felt like she was looking for a scapegoat for how mediocre the event turned out to be. To protect our peace, my wife and I have stopped jumping through hoops to attend family events. If something's during school term, we don't rearrange our lives anymore. We show up when we can, without the kids, and still get labeled uncooperative. And this wasn't even the first time. 2 years prior, my mother told me she was gifting the family a vacation through her timeshare. She said she'd asked Ray to call me and coordinate dates with me. That call never came. A few days later she phoned me, furious that I hadn't made plans. I told her I'd never heard from Ray. She wasn't hearing it. I called him and he casually told me the holiday was already booked for dates in the middle of my kids' school term. His kids are preschoolers, so no issue there. When I asked him to explain this to our mother so she'd understand why we couldn't go, he refused. Again, I was blamed for keeping the kids away and feeding the rivalry. I'm exhausted from being excluded, blamed, and expected to go along with everything. My wife and I have stopped rearranging our lives for family events that disregard us, but I'm questioning if I'm wrong to step back. Am I the a-hole?